Have you ever wondered why your steps feel heavier lately? Why just a few steps up the stairs leave your knees sore and your legs numb? And why do your legs seem to be getting weaker daily despite eating healthy and exercising regularly? You might be making a silent but common mistake, one that most people over 60 never see coming. Some harmless fruits might quietly weaken your legs, hurt your knees, and accelerate joint aging. In today's video, you'll be surprised to discover 7 common fruits to avoid, along with innovative, science-backed alternatives that can help you reduce joint inflammation, improve flexibility, keep your legs strong and stable every day. Watch until the end, so you don't miss the most crucial part: special nutritional advice tailored specifically for those over 60 who want to stay strong on their feet and live healthy, independent lives. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on midlife and senior health tips. Now let's uncover the truths that could completely change how you look at your daily fruit plate. Pineapple, the tropical fruit everyone loves. Sweet, fragrant, juicy, and often praised as a natural remedy, thanks to its bromelain enzyme, known for its anti-inflammatory and digestive benefits. But here's what few people will tell you. Pineapple can be a double-edged sword for those over 60. Did you know? Bromelain in pineapple can dangerously interact with a wide range of medications. Suppose you take antibiotics, blood thinners, anticonvulsants, antidepressants, or sleeping aids. In that case, pineapple is no longer an innocent dessert. It can either amplify or weaken the effect of your medication, putting your overall health at risk. And that's not all. Pineapple's natural acid and sugar content pose a serious concern for older adults. As blood vessels naturally weaken with age, blood circulation becomes more sluggish. And when you consume a fruit that causes blood sugar to spike, like pineapple, it increases the pressure on your circulatory system, especially in the legs. What are the results? Swollen ankles after just a few hours of walking. A feeling of heaviness in the legs even after a short distance. Aching knees after what seemed like a healthy meal. Even worse, the acid in pineapple can trigger flare-ups of silent joint inflammation, especially in individuals with a history of osteoarthritis or chronic polyarthritis. It won't cause harm right away, but slice by slice, day after day, pineapple can silently disrupt the delicate balance in your joints. Remember, natural doesn't always mean harmless. What's praised as a superfood in your 30s might no longer be suitable in your 60s, especially when you're under medical treatment. Bananas. The soft, sweet, and convenient fruit often considered a best friend for those seeking a quick energy boost. With their abundant potassium content, bananas are praised for being heart-friendly, supporting muscles, and preventing cramps. But what you may not be warned about enough is this. Too much potassium can be dangerous, especially for older adults. After 60, the body's ability to balance electrolytes and eliminate excess minerals declines significantly. Eating bananas regularly, though seemingly harmless, can lead to hyperkalemia, excess potassium in the blood, and the consequences are far from mild. Irregular heartbeat, palpitations, and unexplained anxiety. Nausea, fatigue, and sometimes prolonged cramping. In more severe cases, it can even trigger a heart attack in individuals with pre-existing heart conditions. That's not all. Bananas also contain natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. When you eat a ripe yellow banana, your blood sugar can spike rapidly. And for older adults, this means disruptions in blood circulation, especially in the lower limbs. Have you ever felt legs feeling heavy as lead after breakfast with a banana? Calf stiffness and difficulty walking in the afternoon? A slight numbness in your toes after a mostly inactive day? You may never have suspected that the cause lies in what seems like the most harmless fruit on your plate. Don't be too quick to assume bananas are always good for you. Once you've passed the age of 60, your body requires more nuance and selectivity with every bite. And sometimes, it's the most familiar things that need a second look first. And then the grapes. Small, juicy, and easy to eat. Grapes have long been considered a friendly snack for older adults, mainly due to their high antioxidant content and reputation for supporting heart health. But beneath that glossy skin lies a gentle danger, particularly for the legs of those over 60. Have you ever wondered why? You suddenly feel a sharp pain in your big toe at night, enough to wake you up? Or your knees throb with a dull, persistent ache, especially after a light fruit-based snack. and why even a short walk leaves your calves stiff as stone. The culprit might be the grapes you snacked on a few hours ago. This is because grapes contain a high amount of fructose, a natural sugar that the body absorbs quickly through the liver. For younger people, this isn't usually a problem. But in older adults, the liver works more slowly, and excess fructose is more likely to be converted into fat and uric acid, the primary agent behind. Uric acid buildup in the knees, ankles, and toes, causing sharp stabbing joint pain. Persistent mild swelling, especially in frequently used muscle and joint areas. And most notably, a sluggish, heavy feeling in the body, even with little activity. Not to mention, grapes are incredibly easy to overeat. A few here, a few bunches there, and before you know it, you've taken in a significant amount of sugar. This causes blood sugar spikes, poor circulation, and reduced oxygen delivery to muscle tissues, particularly in the legs. The danger here doesn't come from toxicity, but from quiet daily repetition over time. If lately you've noticed your legs tire more easily, you move more slowly, and your joints feel like they're clicking or slightly warm, it might be time to reevaluate how many grapes you include in your diet. Next is watermelon. When we think of watermelon, most of us immediately picture a refreshing, hydrating fruit of over 90% water, seemingly perfect for health, especially during hot summer days. But the truth isn't as simple as its juicy appearance and pleasant sweetness suggest. For older adults, watermelon can become a clever disguise, quietly contributing to leg fatigue, joint pain, and reduced mobility without leaving any obvious trace. Why is that? Watermelon has a very high glycemic index, GI. This means that after eating it, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, just like after eating candy. Especially for those over 60, as metabolism slows and insulin regulation weakens, every blood sugar spike can trigger low-grade inflammation in joint tissues, particularly in the legs. You may have noticed. After eating a few slices of watermelon at lunch, your legs feel heavy, and you're reluctant to move, even though you haven't done much. Mild, unexplained swelling in your knees or ankles. Climbing stairs suddenly feels more complicated than usual, even if it's just a few steps. What's more, these blood sugar fluctuations can lead to inflammation that damages the small blood vessels in your legs, slowing circulation and reducing oxygen delivery to muscle tissues. The result? A sluggish, heavy sensation, and even leg cramps after a seemingly light meal. Another hidden risk is that watermelon is very easy to overeat. One cool, refreshing slice often leads to a second or a third, and suddenly you're unknowingly driving your blood sugar and insulin levels up and down like a roller coaster, something an aging body can no longer manage as well as before. The advice here isn't to eliminate watermelon, but to be mindful about when and how much you consume, especially if you're dealing with joint issues, circulation problems, or frequently experience leg weakness or fatigue after meals. We've all been told at some point, if you want to boost your immune system, drink orange juice. Oranges have long been seen as a symbol of health, immunity, and vitality, appearing in every breakfast and every juice glass for seniors. But behind that fresh, sweet taste lies a lesser-known truth. Oranges can contribute to leg pain, joint stiffness, and difficulty walking. Why is that? Oranges contain a high amount of citric acid, a strong acid that can irritate joint tissues. Once you reach your 60s, the stomach lining and connective tissues become more sensitive to acids, especially if you're living with chronic conditions like arthritis, joint degeneration, gout, or sciatica. Have you ever experienced the following? Waking up in the morning with stiff knees, needing a moment to stretch them out. Feeling a sharp jolt in the hip or pain in the calves after standing up from sitting too long, as if your joints were rusted. Drinking orange juice in the morning, only to feel tingling or heaviness in your legs by noon. That's not all. Oranges also contain a relatively high amount of natural sugar. For younger people, this isn't much of a concern, but for older adults, whose insulin function slows down and whose capillaries are more fragile, this sugar can contribute to inflammation and blood sugar fluctuations, increasing the risk of swelling in the knees, ankles, and feet. The biggest issue here isn't that oranges are bad. They may no longer be suitable for certain aging bodies. You think you're boosting your immune system, but you may be triggering low-grade inflammation in your body, making every step heavier and every movement slower. So if you've been drinking orange juice daily, but notice your legs hurt more, and your knees aren't as flexible as before, it may be time to reevaluate your relationship with this orange friend. Among the countless fruit choices available today, green apples are often categorized as safe and healthy. With their glossy green skin and mildly tart low-sugar flavor, many people, especially seniors, believe green apples make the perfect healthy snack. But few realize that this very fruit might be the silent culprit behind your aching legs after a walk or sore hips after a night's sleep. Why would a fruit that seems so harmless cause harm? Green apples contain two potentially problematic elements for aging bodies: malic acid and hidden natural sugars. First, malic acid, the compound responsible for the apple's tartness, can also irritate joint tissues and the digestive lining in older adults. When this acid enters the body, it may trigger discomfort in weakened joints, causing soreness in the hips, tightness in the thighs, or heavy legs by the afternoon. This is especially noticeable for those living with joint degeneration or a history of sciatica. Eating green apples just a few times a week could lead to morning stiffness, difficulty stretching your legs after waking up, or a heavy stone-like sensation in your knees as you walk. Second, the sugar in green apples, while not overly sweet to the taste, still exists and can quietly raise blood sugar levels, particularly in people with slower metabolism. This can result in poor blood circulation to the legs, leading to nighttime calf cramps, pain while climbing stairs, or a subtle tingling that travels from your feet up to your calves. What makes it worse is that green apples are often eaten raw, on an empty stomach or before bedtime, precisely when the body is most vulnerable and prone to irritation. So if you often eat green apples in the evening and have recently experienced numb toes during sleep, calf fatigue when climbing stairs, a dull ache in your lower back after sitting too long, then it might be time to take a break from green apples, or at least consider switching to a fruit that's more age and circulation friendly for your body. Mangoes contain an extremely high amount of natural sugar. It's so sweet that you might think you're eating a piece of soft candy. But in reality, each bite of mango triggers a blood sugar storm inside your body. For younger people, with a strong metabolism, the body can quickly clean up that sugar. But once you've crossed 60, your insulin regulation mechanism is no longer as agile. The result? Blood sugar spikes suddenly, and insulin becomes unstable, leading to low-grade inflammation in the soft tissues around your joints. Tissues around the knees, ankles, and calves begin to retain fluid, resulting in mild swelling, tightness, or a heavy sensation after meals. Have you ever experienced knee pain in the evening, even after only light walking? A feeling that your legs are weighted down after a lunch that ended with mango for dessert? A sense of leg swelling, especially after standing for a long time or going upstairs? If the answer is yes, then it's very likely that each piece of mango you eat unintentionally slows down your blood circulation, making your golden legs feel more tired and burdened daily. After going through several types of fruits that may seem healthy but silently weaken your legs over time, it's now time for a charming piece of good news. Some fruits are friendly, refined, and excellent for the health of those over 60 years old, especially for the musculoskeletal system. Let me introduce you to nature's carefully crafted trio of leg protectors: avocados, strawberries, pears. Avocado, nutrition for joints and blood vessels. Did you know? In the fruit world, the avocado is a lovable odd one out. It's neither sharply sweet nor tangy, but smooth, mildly rich, and packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and heart-healthy fats. The unsaturated fats in avocados help reduce joint inflammation, protect cell membranes, and stabilize insulin levels, a critical factor in preventing blood sugar spikes and reducing leg pain and swelling. Vitamin K, vitamin E, potassium, and magnesium in avocados support muscles, reduce cramps, and improve the elasticity of blood vessels, thereby enhancing circulation to the limbs. It's no exaggeration to say each spoonful of avocado nourishes your joints and midlife strength. Strawberry, gently sweet, and a nemesis of joint aging. Unlike fruits that are high in sugar and acidity, strawberries have a mild sweetness and a refreshing taste and are the #1 antioxidant warrior among berries. Anthocyanins and vitamin C in strawberries help reduce inflammation, protect joints, and boost collagen production, a key factor in joint flexibility, skin elasticity, and the health of cartilage tissues. Notably, strawberries also help regulate blood sugar and prevent erratic insulin fluctuations, which can affect ligaments and circulation in the legs. Want something tasty that also soothes swelling in the knees? A few strawberries a day might be the most delightful answer. Pear. Subtle, gentle, and a quiet inflammation fighter. Pears are often seen as an ordinary fruit by many, but few realize they offer a powerful anti-inflammatory effect thanks to their high flavonoid content. Flavonoids and vitamins C and K in pears can reduce soft tissue swelling around the knees and ankles while strengthening the durability of tiny blood vessels. These very pathways deliver nutrients to the furthest parts of your legs. Additionally, pears contain natural soluble fiber, which helps maintain hormonal balance and regulate energy. Two key factors that keep your legs strong and your spirit light. Avocados, strawberries, and pears may sound simple, but they're a precious natural remedy for legs that have walked through the years and now need delicate, age-appropriate care. If you've stayed with me this far, you likely have something precious in your heart. A deep care for your own body, mainly your legs, the wings of freedom, that have carried you through the long journey of life. Today, you and I have walked together through a journey of looking back to change. You've learned that some seemingly healthy fruits can silently harm your joints, trigger inflammation, and gradually weaken your legs. You've come to understand that aging doesn't make us weak. How we eat, choose, and listen to our bodies determines our strength or decline. And you've also discovered real allies for your legs: gentle, nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory fruits that support your health. Now, you stand at a small but significant crossroads. There's no need to change your whole life. Adjust a small part of your daily diet, like swapping a tangy sweet slice of pineapple for half a creamy avocado, or choose a handful of strawberries instead of a few grapes. Every small choice is a commitment to yourself. I choose less pain, so I can walk with my grandchildren. I choose less swelling, so I can step out onto the balcony each morning feeling full of life. I choose a future not dependent on painkillers, but built on mindful eating and self-love. You don't have to do everything in one day. Start gently, with one right fruit, one smart meal, and add to that a little perseverance. If this story has touched you, please leave a comment below, even if it's just the number 1. That alone will sign that you're ready to begin a recovery journey, proactive, empowered, and from within. If you found this content helpful, don't hesitate to share it with your loved ones. It's very possible that this one video could help a mother, a father, or a friend feel lighter in every step. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And remember, strength doesn't lie in youth, but in knowledge, and our actions as we grow. See you again in upcoming content, where we'll continue walking together to live healthily, joyfully, and entirely with every step.